News, views, voices of the global Indian community. India abroad.
First of all, thank you for the kind wishes and congratulating me. I am very much looking forward to serving the organization and the membership. The only thing that I'm looking forward to this year as the incoming chairman is to serve in the best of my ability and only focus on things that matter, the challenges that we face today, and that is to help further improve and enhance our bottom line for the membership. Well, I break it down in 4 buckets. Number 1 is brands. Number 2 is disruptors. Number 3 is costs. And number 4 is regulations. And those are the 4 things that I would like to tackle alongside with our board of directors this year, and so that we can make sure that we strategize on seeing how we can help our membership. With the brands, how to find a way to work with the brand partners to create healthy dialogue to ensure that we are helping our membership. There are a lot of issues that do come about when you have a franchise agreement with the membership, with a franchisee and franchisor. But we need to find a way to make sure we deal with it in a way where somebody is also winning at each end. It has to be a win-win situation. So we want to find a path so that we can further help and improve, especially for the following generation that is also coming into the industry. In today's time, with many of the challenges that we face today, brands and the owners have to work together to ensure that we find a common path. And one of the things that I would like to really put a heavy focus on this year is to challenge the ideology of the access to ensuring that we can buy items from other sources of vendors that may be the same spec as the mandated. In today's time, every single dollar matters, especially with costs rising. So if something is costing $1 and something that's brand mandated is costing $5, if that item matches with the spec, allow the owner to go ahead and purchase that item for that $1 so that we can save money at the end of the day. So that is one of the biggest things I would like to work on when it comes to the brand partners, to educate them to looking at creating more waiver programs around brand mandated items. Number 2, when it comes to disruptors, there's many things that are impacting our industry. Technology within the hospitality industry, we have not been as advanced as we should be. That is why there's other sources of items that are that is impacting our bottom line and impacting the industry itself. Things like Airbnb, Vrbo. So with the help of the board of directors and the membership, one of the things that I would like to focus on this year is to create a level playing field when it comes to short-term rentals throughout the country, not just specific states, but every single city. And I think with many of the cities now, they are understanding the impact of it. At the end of the day, what we do around that is to ensure that we help our membership get that demand that is going into that market into their hotels instead of these short-term rentals. When it comes to costs, finding a way to reset the industry, finding a way to create a different and a new rate model. All the costs have much gone up highly, especially after the COVID-19. Items in our P&Ls, such as our labor, such as supply, debt, every single line item has gone up. So why can't we reset the industry just like the airline industry has? Find ways to create a new rate model, start charging for items. If we don't reset the industry now, especially with NOI shrinking, then we're never going to be able to find a path forward to increasing our NOI. So that is one of the things that I would like to focus on this year, to work with the ownership groups, to work with our brand partners and find a path forward to reset the industry as a whole so that we can make more money at the end of the day. And number 4 is regulations. Paying attention to regulations across the country to make sure that we are stopping and preventing them before they even come about. We don't want to be number 2. We want to make sure that we find out what is exactly going on in particular areas and tackle that issue head on, because there's so many challenging regulations that are being passed or that are coming about that is confusing and hurting our membership. So if we stay proactive and tackle that from day one, it'll help our membership to be having a safer investment in the long term. Throughout this year, I only focus on 3 things when it comes to helping our NOI. Ensuring that we work together as a unified voice with the board of directors and the membership so that we can help make more money save more money, and protect our investments. In my opinion, as a second generation hotelier whose first generation of my parents and all my grandparents came into the country, they have built a great foundation for us. And now we have to create a structure over that foundation. More than anything, AAHOA is the definition of the American dream. If you look at our Oxford data, 60% of the hotels in America are owned by AAHOA members. In the state that I live in, which is the state of Texas, 89% of the hotels in the state of Texas are owned by AAHOA members. If that doesn't tell you the footprint that we have, then what does, right? So our idea now is to work with policymakers and our elected officials to educate them on what our concerns are. Our idea is to use the Oxford data to leverage what we have already, the value proposition of the association, to educate them and making sure that we work with them to create better solutions for our membership and our industry. To me, it's not about setting a record, or it's not about going around and telling people I'm the youngest chairman. Yes, I am blessed and I am privileged and I am honored to serve as the youngest chairman starting tomorrow, but more than anything, it's to show an example that age is just a number. If you have the right vision, and that vision is to help the lodging industry and the membership, anything has happened. Anything is possible and anything can happen. The membership 3 years ago voted me in as a secretary of the board, and throughout that time, I found myself in a position where there's people out there in the membership that have special trust and confidence in me. Now my job is to lead with that trust and confidence and lead with the best of my ability. And so to me, I hope one day somebody even younger than me becomes the chairman of this board and sets the example that AAHOA is for the next generation of hoteliers. Building tomorrow today is a theme for this coming year, and I would like to ensure that everything we do is for the future of the organization and for the membership. By simply creating more opportunities for them, we want to make sure that if AAHOA doesn't create the opportunity for them, guess what? They will not come to the AAHOA events or come to the AAHOA platform. If we put a heavy focus on creating opportunities for them when it comes to either development, management, education, networking, all of these items that are surrounding that platform, if we put a heavy focus on that, young professionals will come and join the AAHOA platform. The more they are engaged and the more they participate, they'll take back home more than they would in any other platform out there. Like I said earlier, the association really understands, as members in the association really understands, and hoteliers understand one thing, that we as an industry have been very much far behind when it comes to technology advancements in our businesses. And so moving forward, we have to find better solutions when it comes to technology, and who best to deliver that than the next generation of hoteliers. I think it's just to streamline operations more than anything, especially with the labor challenges, increasing cost of labor, finding labor. We have to find better ways to streamline our operations, to cut on cost, but also to make things easier for the hotel owners. And so things like, kiosks, things like using different apps and softwares and databases, to making sure that we create softwares around businesses and vendor partners coming to you instead of you going for them. I'll give you an example. Many times we have this trade show, a phenomenal trade show just here in Orlando, Florida. We had 90,000 square feet of the trade show floor filled with 550 plus exhibitors here. Our membership got a chance to really network and learn from them and understand which product and services is best for their businesses. But imagine if you're not going around looking for them and they come to you. Creating technology advancements such as, for example, a simple thing like tiles. You don't have to go and keep calling every vendor out there for tile. Now, maybe creating something with a technology platform where you quickly just insert how many square footages of tiles you need, the color, the description, and vendors are calling you now with the AAHOA platform that's already there with all the database that we have. That makes operational streamline very efficient, purchasing very efficient, and now you'll be able to get people calling you versus you going to look for them. So this is just one example and many more things that maybe we can work together on with the support of the board of directors and the membership. It has a heavy impact. And again, more than anything is our bottom line, our NOI. We are successful as AAHOA members because all of our members, including the first generation and the second generation, took risks, and they took risks for reward. And if the reward isn't as rewarding anymore, that becomes a problem. So after COVID, that's one thing that we need to understand, that we have to find innovative ways and find creative solutions around increasing our NOI. And that is why I brought up earlier on, when it comes to costs, creating a new rate model, because if all the expenses keep going up and our revenues are not going up with it, it makes no sense as our NOI continues to shrink. So we can reset the industry. We just have to put more thought into it and seeing how we can. If we collectively work on things like charging for additional items that we haven't been really charging for, because maybe amenity keep crawling up and we're giving things away free, which maybe the consumer doesn't really need. Maybe we can create a different outlet of creating more revenue for our hotels. So finding things like that and getting more innovative should be the critical thing that not just the AAHOA board should think about, but overall every hotel owner should be thinking about in today's time. My family background, I'm a second generation hotel owner. My family moved here my dad moved here in 1995 after he married my mom. My mom and her family moved about 5 years before that. My mom went to India, had the arranged marriage. My dad and mom both moved here, started off in the hotel business as housekeeping and the front desk and etc. And then just like every other AAHOA member, built their American dream, built their first hotel where me and my brother grew up. And that 30-room independent property taught me more than just renting rooms or cleaning rooms, but it taught me my life lessons such as hard work, dedication, staying committed, and that is what makes me who I am today overall. And so, I grew up in that 30-room hotel. I was able to experience that, and then after that, I also did my studies in. I graduated with my Bachelor of Science in Hotel and Lodging Management, and then I did my Master's in Business Administration with a concentration in hospitality. So when you look at experience when it comes to the hotel business, not only did I go to school for it, but I also grew up learning it from day one. And so I love this industry. I love hotel business. I love where we're going with it, and especially with the second generation getting more innovative. I think we're going to be in a much better place than we are today, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And that should be the goal, so that the generation after me continues what the first generation has started already in this country. That property's still there. My mom and dad still own that property. I grew up in there, and it's in Texas. It's in Houston, Texas, on Wayside Drive. And as soon as I graduated college, I created my own company, and that company's name is Wayside Investment Group. And the idea is that I always think back to where we started, on Wayside Street. And so it's a reminder of our roots, our humble beginnings, and a reminder that we stay committed to what we are planning to do. I am from Gujarat. My family's from Gujarat. My dad is from a village called Damargam. It's in near Navsari area. And in fact, the funny story is that being born and raised in Houston, Texas, I did go back to India for boarding school as well. And my dad's idea was that you should go back to understand where we came from, and so that you understand the roots and overall how we were raised as well. And so I go to India every single year, especially in the month of December when everybody goes. And I'm looking forward to going again this year, and then we'll continue to probably go, because that's something that my parents put a heavy focus on growing up, staying connected to our roots. India's economy is growing like no tomorrow, from the days of us going there, from the days I was in boarding school to the days that we're seeing now in December when I go to India. India has really come a long way. I commend the leadership in India, and I think the public is also understanding that India is moving in a different direction, in a positive direction. And we're seeing that especially with the events like Howdy Modi. It was in Houston, Texas. My family was very much in the volunteering there. 50,000 people in one facility. That's pretty big. That shows power. And then moving forward when the Prime Minister and the team was here in DC just this past year, the message that the Prime Minister left here for America to really see is that recognize India, see where India is going. And I think the whole world has seen where India is going and where it will be in the next 5 to 10 years from now. he's the architect. He's the simple architect of and alongside the entire leadership role there. But I think in any leader having that vision for India is always good. And so I commend Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the entire leadership to really take AAHOA on the map. And so being second generation, growing up in America, it's always a proud moment to say that my family is from India, and people recognize in America where India is going and where it will be. Travel tourism, whether it be in America or in India, I think working together in a strategic partnership is going to be key. I mean, you look at the brand partners here that we do business with, they are putting a heavy focus on India as well. And there's a reason for that. They are seeing that there's a lot of travel and tourism going towards India. That is why many of our own members are now even developing in India as well with their brand partners. And the brand partners are putting a heavy focus with the local hotel owners and operators in India to develop the brands in America. So, I think working together with AAHOA, India, to seeing how we can boost travel and tourism for not only India, but also for our end as well, will be very critical. And AAHOA has always had a lot of partnerships with the government of India. It's simply that, growing up in it, there's a passion and love that fell for it. Growing up in the hotel business, you see that, it was always been a special place for me. And it's not just the operational part or the management side. It was even like the development, the construction side. Today I have my own construction company as well, and a management company as well, an investment company as well when it comes to the hotel sector. So we have the full 9 yards when it comes to the hotel phases of different phases in the hotel business. But growing up in it, I knew from day one, when the age of maybe even 4 to 5, that this is the business I want to be in, and I want to make sure that I become the best at it, to be the lead in it. And if I can find a way to ensure that all of the membership also are the best operators, then to me that makes me feel like I contributed something back to my community. I want every single AAHOA member to have all the opportunities out there when it comes to growing their portfolios, growing their aspirations, growing their dreams, and growing their, of course, going back to everything, their bottom lines. AAHOA is simply, it is a powerhouse when it comes to advocacy, education, networking, anything, you name it. My hope is that anything that we do this year in my leadership continues down for the to the leadership after me, after them. We want to make sure that we continue to stay focused on making sure that AAHOA continues to be relevant, to continue to grow, and the membership continues to get the best member benefits there is out there for them. AAHOA should always be the world's largest hotel owners association that continues to have the footprint needed in the industry and in quite frankly the world, being the world's largest.